hello, good morning, good evening, whenever you're watching this, wherever you are. I want to start by saying I have read through all the comments that I have had so far in the different videos, and I think maybe one was for Blake, but it wasn't like based on anything. It was just like, I think she's right, or whatever. It was kind of just that, or he's a narcissist, or whatever. That's kind of like all there was to that. I really want, and I think I think I know, I've seen so many people say, I want to see Blake's receipts. I want to see, I want to hear more. I want to like see the other side. So if you are on the other side, meaning we're all kind of on the same side as far as like we just want the truth and we want the right person to be okay. But I wonder if she thinks it's like another being like bird or something. He's like, nope. If you believe what Blake wrote in her complaint, if you think that, I don't even know how to say this because I think people are fighting for her complaint as far as more of her claims rather than what her complaint and lawsuit was about, in my understanding. So, yeah, but either way, like, I genuinely say this because I think people might be intimidated or even click off like, oh, this is like pro Justin, technically con Blake, but against Blake. And it's not pro Justin. It's not pro Blake. It's not going to be pro anyone. It's not going to be against anyone. It's going to be, I mean, this is my channel, so it's my opinions and what I see and what I am seeing in the information we have so far, and my opinions based on that, and sometimes factual in terms of what is written in these lawsuits or what is presented in that video and so forth, like quotes from either of their teams. So that's what this is about. And I think a lot of people get frustrated because it's kind of like in politics, you talk from completely different sides. You're talking about different things when there is a common goal, but you're talking about different things and your perception is so different, and you mistalk kind of. So, and if anyone posts something for Blake, number one rule is let's not bully. We're not bullies here. We can disagree and we can have conversation and you can strongly disagree. But no like name calling, no bullying. But I'm saying this, I'm really calling it out. Please, 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 if you disagree with this, if you disagree with all the coverage that's on Justin's side, that's on in his favor, that etc etc, we want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. I don't know about everyone in the comments and so forth, but I want to hear from you. Yeah, this video will be more things that I came across on the internet, videos and so forth. I watched Jersty's Flaws interview with Dana Bowling. Is she Romanian? Because that's how we say Dana instead of Dana. If she's Romanian, like, shout out to Romania. She had some interesting, behind closed doors type of stuff that she revealed, so check that video out. But we're going to talk about a lot of things that I've came across in the last 24, 48, 72 hours. Some things I kind of like put to the side in favor of the other movies, in favor of the other videos. So let's get into that. I really, like, I was seeing, like, I wanna see other people's point of view. And the other part too is, the one thing that bothers me a lot is not confirmation bias as much as algorithmic bias, that we all can be on this video talking about Justin while another video is all talking about how Blake is the victim and so forth. I would love for those two interact with each other, because otherwise we live in our bubble and we don't hear the other side. And I've heard the other side from some people, from like a friend and so forth, but it was like one person. I just see in videos references to like, oh, people say this and people say that, but I don't actually see it. It's overwhelming how many people, there are more people on his side than against her. But there's definitely a lot of people against her, and I think it's getting confusing, especially because there is gender to it, and it can get very confusing when there's gender. Very confusing. It would be great if I can ask you and you could do it and I could do it, just take gender out of it. And that's so understandable because we're not taught to do that. We don't have that much experience to do that. Gender is probably our first bias. So, anyways, let's get into this. So, a couple of news is there are AI voice notes from Ryan Reynolds and AI voice notes from Justin Baldoni. I heard some on Popcorn Planet. I didn't even know. I thought it was popcorn, not popcorned. With my accent, you're probably not going to tell the difference either way. Sorry. But the first one, the Ryan Reynolds one, I mean, you could tell from both of their voices so completely AI. But there are some there's good technology out there. If you have ever had Speechify or you tried it out, I love Obama's voice because unlike the real Obama, it's very fluid. That was one thing I couldn't listen to Barack Obama because he would just like say a couple of words, pause, like his rhythm was very distracting to me. But on Speechify, it's fluid and also it's you can speed it up. And I discovered I didn't know this that sometimes for some people that helps a lot. Sorry for the chirping. If it's like sped up a little bit. And it sounds like Obama. I don't know if they took his real voice, if he contributed to that or not. I don't think so. There's quite a lot of celebrities and stuff. Oh, Choco. No, like one day, and that one day will be regrettable because you like scream in the microphone. Not sure how true this is, but one lawyer was saying, and some of these I have, like, this is the video I heard this. Some of these I was like, I haven't been ingesting so much that I don't know, but I'm sure that if you're watching this, you've been ingesting just as much, and it's, you probably came across all of these at one point, or you will soon. But one lawyer said that technically no one had to include any screenshots, any evidence, any documents, anything. When you file a complaint or lawsuit around these issues, or maybe at all, completely, for like in general, they only need, hey, I'm suing, or this person owes me this because of this. Usually they're very straightforward and short, like 80 pages, 180 pages, like all of both of these were long, and the things that were included were unnecessary because that comes with discovery, that comes with other things. I therefore wonder, it places more evidence into Blake's team, Blake's side. The fact that article came about, what, 24 hours after she filed the complaint, it places a lot more evidence into she wanted that to be public and she wanted public opinion to change. This was a PR move. It wasn't a legal move. It was a PR move disguised as a legal move. And then when she filed the lawsuit, whether or not she intended to begin with to file the lawsuit, probably we'll never know unless we get like receipts, conversations about that. Like, oh crap, now we have to file the lawsuit. Either way, they wanted this to be public. They wanted this to be public. And now that he brought his defense, and he brought the pieces of evidence directly to her point and to other points. Indeed, we have to definitely realize whether or not he's guilty of any of it, of the astroturfing, which is what her complaint is about, or the claims that she made of SH that led to her suing for astroturfing in the smear campaign. Because again, to my knowledge, she's not suing for the SH. She didn't even want that public. She didn't want to go to HR with that. She didn't want that to be investigated or made official in any way. That's also a huge, like those like claw machines, huge claw machine thing into the bucket of this smells fishy. I like the fish smell, so it smells bad. It smells trashy because who likes the smell of trash? That's a huge piece too, in my opinion, in that bucket. The other piece of news was that Colleen Hoover stopped her Instagram. I don't know if she deactivated it or deleted it, but it went away. I think it was also Popcorn Planet that, hey, when she had her own controversy because she released a coloring book and nail polish, the audience felt that was very inappropriate and called her out. And she took accountability, like just very straight, like, I didn't mean it this way. I didn't see it this way, but I hear you and it's not going forward. I actually got chills right now because Andy said, like, that's all Blake had needed to do with the Betty Buzz thing. Even though that was kind of, it got a little bit tossed to the side a little bit because it was just like one interview and the next interview and the next interview, and every interview she was doing so badly. She was not being empathetic, considerate, and knowledgeful of this topic and of her audience and of what people needed. And I just recently saw, and I had seen of this, like little screenshots or people talking on top of, this. And I just didn't care to see it. I don't like Ryan Reynolds' humor. I don't like it. Kind of like worries me how many people like Deadpool, because that is to me worrisome. That I'm trying to be in a place where both of those things can coexist. A good person can have that sense of humor, and I'm not talking about Ryan specifically with that statement. I'm talking about the audience. Like, I don't understand, because it's all about like swearing and putting people down. He's not my type of person. Not just my type of guy. It's not like the attractive part, which also I don't find him attractive, but that's beside the point. Because when I say attractive, I need the face to look good. Like, I don't care about your body, but I'm not even talking about that at all. Like, I'm just simply talking as like the character of a person, and I don't like his character. I don't know. Things that I've recently come across from Donna, and also from that interview with Jersey, and then from other things, like, I might have been right in a way that I hope I'm not, to be honest. When it comes to Blake especially, I think she has been shown to have her own pattern in history that clearly shows who she is. But that doesn't mean, like many people say, that doesn't mean that you can't have things done to you. You can't be controlled. You can't be, I don't want to say any of the words on this video. I hope that's not the case in their household, because a lot of people take this and laugh about it or call her like she's not a victim, she's a full adult, etc. And isn't that, like, haven't we learned from this movie? Well, we haven't, because the movie didn't actually get to be the movie that it was supposed to be. But haven't we learned a bit from at least the idea of what this movie was supposed to be and the conversations around it afterwards? We can't assume that or say that. Adults, first of all, like this book, she's that much younger. I think kind of around the same age gap as to Ryan as Lily was to Ryle. Ryan has been, I think, with the exception of Alanis Morissette, which who knows about? No one talks about that. Found that out like a while ago, but it was like, what? Like these characters, he tends to go for the younger women, and it's not inherently wrong. Again, like, I think with what my other video was about, narcissism, which one applies to either of these, Blake or Justin, and how, and let's explore that as people who are like lay people. A maybe very important person was left out of that conversation, mainly because the focus has not been on him, on Ryan Reynolds, because I don't know almost anything about him besides Mint Mobile and Deadpool and that one movie, like college movie. That's like the first one that I saw of him, like, what, 20 years ago or something, where I was like, this guy is like not cute, not attractive, a jerk. Why are we supposed to like him? And the Scarlett Johansson and then Blake Lively and, the Green Lantern thing, which I think I did see that movie, maybe not, I don't know. I think that we should consider him in this story a lot more than we are. And I think people are, because things are coming out about him from people in the industry that will not talk on record, but people talk. And I think it's very important to hear from the people that those people talk to. Vet your sources, use your critical thinking, but don't dismiss everything. Where there's a pattern, there's something. Doing some things one off, though they may be bad, and the person needs to be held accountable in one way or another. It is telling that with the power that Ryan Reynolds and Blake have, to get things out of the media that they don't like about themselves. Some people choose to do that, some people don't. Some people choose to respond, some people don't. However, it's very telling that these people that have the power to do that because they've been shown to do that. There was one clip online where they were on a red carpet, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, and she had a hair clip in her hair. Her assistant or whatever forgot to take out, and she got really mad and was afterwards yelling at the assistant, caught on camera, and she made it like just like, oh, I was just playing or whatever. Doesn't that sound like the whole Deadpool thing with TJ Miller? I dug into you, but I'm just playing. But that just went away and went away. And so when you say like, well, Justin could do the same thing, yeah, he could. But this is telling that even though they make things go away, people and things still appear online, still appear about them. Whereas what have we heard from anyone about Justin and having worked with him before? What have we heard? And we could have heard. Again, it didn't even, if people were like in a non-disclosure agreement or this or that, doesn't mean that they can't leak that information anonymously to anyone. And we've not heard that. So I think, again, keep your critical thinking on. Don't let the gender bias be a thing. Don't let, what each party is saying, don't let that affect you too much. Look at the proof, look at the evidence, look at the pattern of behavior and how they're interacting with these evidence and proof and all that stuff. Critical thinking. To close the Colleen Hoover thing, yeah, that was like amazing. And the idea, being like, where has Blake taken accountability for? Even like the smallest things. As soon as people were pointing out, hey, it's not appropriate to have an alcohol brand with this topic, she could have issued that statement or said it in an interview. I'm sorry, I wasn't aware of that. That wasn't my intention. And I'm going to stop doing that as soon as possible. It also really, really didn't take that much. It doesn't take that much because she was loved. She was also not loved by many, but she was loved. She was, accepted and so forth. So it didn't take that much, but she didn't even do that much. And if she did, put it in the comments below because I would love to see that, but no one has seen it that I know of. I will continue the rest after. I want to say to my previous video on narcissists, how narcissism might play a role in this. I think it's confusing because when we talk about a lot of these things, we latch on to the most interesting tidbits, but we don't get into the nuances. And the interesting thing with narcissism, it's this illusion of they come across so charismatic, so loving, so nice to you. They convince you they are like the most nice, best person, and especially if they want something from you. And you really think, and they oftentimes, because of their inner insecurity, go for that power, more, and control. It's really hard for us if we don't have that trait. It's really hard for us to look at someone that comes across confident and powerful and nice, charismatic, good looking, and think they can't be insecure. Like, I can be insecure. I know what insecure looks like, but they can't be insecure. And she actually kind of shows that she's insecure all the time. That's interesting too. But yeah, sometimes it is this illusion and this hard to wrap your mind around. Like, how can those coexist? Yeah, I will continue later.